Let's call the Woodbury Select Board meeting to order on Monday, February 9th at 6 o'clock. Are there any adjustments to the regular agenda?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this can go like any time, but just real quickly, I just wanted to ask some questions about the spring. I got an email from somebody.
Oh, I can update you on that.
Well, I know it's being worked on, or maybe
Okay.
has been fixed, but I have just general questions about
Okay.
This
who's
is Flat Street?
responsible. No, the
Oh,
spring, the water tub.
Yeah.
I was part of the crew that started to work on the solar.
Oh, okay.
Those questions I can answer.
Awesome.
We
Okay,
do that
cool.
during the road commissioner's report?
Sure.
When you're on as well? All right. Just remind me, spring, not Flat Street.
I have an adjustment too. I'd like to, I'm listed here for a couple of projects, but I'd also like to talk about the road erosion inventory, mostly to update you on the cost of the iPad. Just to get you
Right.
okay on that.
Road erosion inventory. We could do that during that same.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
All right.
Wait, I was waiting for, I was hoping John Reed was gonna, is that John?
It is John.
Because he had to print out the minutes for me because my computer's got a virus.
Yeah.
So John said he would do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've all seen them though.
Huh?
We've all seen the minutes, so we can still have a discussion.
That's true, yeah, that's true.
Is there a motion regarding the minutes from January 26th?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right. Is there any discussion?
When to sign, okay. And then-
Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the minutes from January 26th, 2026, please say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Motion
Is
passes.
this one we're signing?
yeah, that's for you.
Oh.
It's got your name on it.
Are we signing this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll put
We'll
my
move
name
on
this
to
one.
public comment. And I know that some folks here that are on the agenda and that wouldn't fall into public comment. Is there anybody who would like to make a comment in the public comment time? Lisa Flood.
Yes.
All right.
Is this public comment?
It is. You're just in time.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so I have been interested in trying to find out if there are grant monies available to do any renovations to the school building. And I guess my question has to do with, the building belongs to the town. And so there was a study done by Co and Co about the cost to do some renovations. And I'm assuming the school district had ordered that? You folks didn't.
We didn't.
No, they're studying it. I don't think they've made any moves yet. They didn't put it in the budget this year. so-
I know, but they do have, I've seen the whole
They've had a
proposal.
Lily,
Yeah.
or Lily looked at those too.
So you folks maybe don't know like what prompted, I know the elevator needs some kind of repair, although it's still workable. But you folks don't really know why the
It
whole
was an
fire
inspection.
The state, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so someone from the state came, do they come every year to inspect the
Right.
building? Like the fire?
Every year, annually, or something like that.
Okay. So,
that's why I suggested that, for some follow-up, you should check with Paul Cerruti, because he used to be the state fire marshal.
Right.
So I'm sure
He
he's
might
seen a lot of
know.
these.
and
Situations.
then there's also the question of the lease. The town leases the building to the school district. There would have to be like an easement, for instance, if we got money from Preservation Trust of Vermont on the building.
Yeah.
And I don't know
Some
whether the
complications, sure.
is,
Well, maybe
it
if-
affects the lease in any way.
Maybe the money could just go to the school district.
I think part of the problem is, I think because the school district has ability to raise funds on their own, that there is a question about whether something like Preservation Trust would want to invest in that. And I know we have a lot of questions about the school right now that are unanswered. But I yes, my question is, if I have a call with a woman from Preservation Trust on Friday, where I can get more information, but somebody would have to sign the grant, and I'm assuming that would be you folks.
No, I really think you're many steps away from actually signing a grant
Right.
application, so.
But
But if it all
It
worked
could
out,
be.
would
It
be
would
in
be
favor of
you.
it?
It could be, yeah. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that might require a little research. I mean, maybe it would be representatives from the school board, or,
Well,
Yeah.
as Lisa just pointed out, right, they might be hesitant to give the money to the school district.
Yeah.
right, we have an advantage in that Preservation Trust requires that a building be on the National Register of Historic
Which
Buildings,
it
which
does.
ours is already.
Yeah.
So that's a real benefit to
There's a
us.
thing about the town using
And because town meeting is
school,
held there, and I think like the pie breakfast qualifies as a community event that we really can make an argument for regardless of whatever happens to the school, that the building is significant to our town. It's an emergency shelter.
Yeah.
So, okay, so no, I don't know enough yet.
Can
And
I-
you folks,
Yeah, so Lisa, I know a little bit, I don't know all the answer totally to your question, but I know that it can be illegal for a town to give money to a public school out of the old gold school kind of thing that happened a number of years ago. So there could be some legal reasons why we couldn't do that. I think it's a great idea, but you might want to check with Darren or Heather,
yeah,
and also maybe bring this idea to a school board meeting.
yes, I do, I plan, I did write them
Okay.
an email. It goes to the whole district, you know, all the officers, they don't respond to the email.
Yeah.
But in terms of not being able to do that, we put the elevator on the school building as a town.
Right.
We had
But that was
bond
before
vote.
the union, all that stuff.
No, I know,
Merger.
but it was a school then.
Right, and it
And
was
the
our,
town-
it was our school, it was the town's
Right.
responsibility.
There was no lease or no
Okay.
district to answer to, or.
That's the difference now,
I
it's
see.
not totally the town's response. And in the lease, the school district is supposed to do any of those improvements that are necessary.
Is there a copy of the lease somewhere?
Yeah,
I have it, I can send it over to you.
Perfect, thanks.
I mean, that said, we do have a kind of an agreement to build this outdoor classroom, which has never happened. But the town has given, because it's a joint venture and it would be used both jointly by the town and the school, which, I mean, we use the school also, but that's part of the lease agreement. So, yeah, I would check in with the school board and maybe they could have their lawyer look into that. That would be, I think, the way to go for that. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Thanks, Michael. Any other follow-up questions, or it feels like there's a good plan of attack?
Not at this point, yeah, I just feel like.
Well, thank you for taking that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa.
Oh, to send you over that lease, can I get your email or phone number to contact you?
Yes, it's lflood 001 at AOL.com. Now everybody in the world knows.
Yeah, be prepared.
Can I add to the public comment that, so Lisa, I know Patrick was here a couple of select boards meetings ago when Darren and Heather were here and just talked about how screwed it up it is in Montpelier right now regarding the schools. And then Retta Dunlap put a very interesting statement on Front Porch Forum about schools, and I mentioned to her it would be great for people in town to get together and talk about the school. She would really like to do that, so I'm just putting that out now. And something will be organized in that way soon, I think. So.
And that was, and when Darren and Heather were here a meeting or two ago, Heather said you really need to be thinking about the future of the school. And
Right.
we've been thinking about that for 30 years,
Decades.
at least as long as I've lived here.
But we had the school as our own school, and now it's not really our own anymore, so, yeah.
All right, any other follow-up questions, or are we ready to move on? Hearing none, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is the Swenson Granite Company is here. Their representative Colin Johnson, as well as Randy Cleveland, and I'm sorry, I don't remember,
Nicole Sundberg.
Nicole, are here, and turn it over to you guys.
Sure. So, as everyone probably knows, we have a pending application with the Zoning Board of Adjustment and Act 250 for an expansion at the quarry. So, essentially, there's a footprint expansion that's proposed to the support areas and extraction areas, as well as some operational changes, most notably the addition of a crusher and a crushed aggregate material, being brought out, which I think the bigger impact and what everybody cares most about probably is the addition of the truck traffic. Right now, the only thing that comes out of the quarry is dimensional stone. With the addition of the crusher, we're proposing, a crushed aggregate volume of 20,000 cubic yards per year. And with that, there would need to be haul trucks and dump trucks associated with that volume. So we have another hearing on Thursday with the zoning board. But as a part of Act 250, we have submitted the municipal impact questionnaire. And I think just generally getting in front of this board and having that discussion. And again, it's primarily seems to be the road and the traffic, but that is probably the bigger conversation. There is a municipal impact fee now that's paid, and we have proposed a few conditions to the zoning board that were included in this letter as far as traffic related items go. Some of those being, covering the dump trucks, gravel trucks. The dimensional stone, it can't be covered. I mean, those are come in flatbeds, huge stones, can't really cover those. But anything as far as obviously dump trucks with gravel, those would be covered before they leave. A condition to try to stop the queue, at least minimize, how often trucks can leave. I think the biggest thing too is obviously road condition is a big concern for everybody. So sounds like the worst spot is the curve between the two access points. The new access that was put in 5 years ago or so. The old access point, when you pass that, there's kind of a blind curve and a hill there. So one thing that we're proposing is, as a condition, in the winter, all the trucks would either exit or enter in the old access. None would go over to the new access road to avoid that. And then anytime throughout the year, all the gravel trucks would only come out of that old entrance. None would ever, all the gravel trucks, no matter what time of the year, not just winter, but if, any time throughout the year, those gravel trucks would either enter or exit. They wouldn't go to the new entrance, either going to or coming out. So
Can I just point of clarification?
Yeah.
Are you saying that new entrance would be pretty much removed from the?
it would only be used for dimensional stone trucks in and out
In the
in the non-winter months.
Got it. Okay.
So,
Yep.
so.
Go ahead, Dave.
When I go to the zoning hearing, I'm the clerk, and I'm not supposed to ask, I do, but, so now I'm gonna ask questions. That old road, you're gonna have those gravel trucks coming and going on that road?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to widen it or anything?
CBs,
I mean,
CB,
I'm sorry.
the CB, like a
Radio.
walkie-talkie.
that's how
Oh, okay.
that's how the quarry's operated for
Oh, okay, thank you.
ever until 5 years ago.
Okay, so somebody, but you don't have any control over who's coming to get gravel, right? You
We'll,
don't-
we'll have some control, yeah.
Okay, so a contractor like that has a big job and they want 5 truckloads, they'll let you know when they're coming and you'll say, okay, and, yeah, what time they should come and things like that. Another thing I'd like to suggest that you consider, since I've been told that the rest of the quarry shuts down at 3 o'clock, if that, and I think it was said at the hearing that the crushing and trucking operation would go from like 7:30 to 4:30. I'm thinking if you could start the trucking at 8 o'clock and stop it at 3 o'clock, that would give people a chance to get out and go to work or get home after the trucks stop running, you know, just an idea. I don't know if
And
it makes
in the
any
summertime, we
sense.
run 6 to 4.
6 to 4. Whoa.
Yeah.
So the whole quarry does.
Yeah,
Oh, so they don't show, okay, I don't know where I heard
been like
that.
that for
Okay.
20 plus years.
I don't know where I heard that they stopped at 3. Okay, sorry.
We do in the wintertime.
Oh, okay.
It's okay if I just make a couple questions and a comment. One of the questions I had is you said that there is a municipal impact fee that's already,
Or the trucking fee.
I think he's talking about the 6.5 cents.
Yeah.
the 6.5 cents.
Yeah, the fee
Okay.
for the trucks,
Okay.
per volume.
And I have a follow-up question about that later. And then I just to let you know, I think that there is a lot of concern about the road and trucks on the road, but I think I've heard quite a bit from community members that they're concerned about sound as well.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And
And with that, so we did do a noise study. We've positioned where we've located, the crusher, which is going to be the primary change in noise level, is going to be the addition of the crusher unit. It would be one crusher that's portable, that's brought in 45 days, a year. They would bring it in the site, they do the crushing, and then they would leave. And we, did a good amount of design work to figure out where we could put it to still meet the current sound levels. So one of them, and the primary location is going to be on that winding road. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the going into the site. The old access road is, really winding. So it is out that direction, kind of on the other side of the hill from the quarry itself. Right now, this quarry is south facing. You drive in, so it's on the other side of the hill from that, kind of down on the winding piece of the road. That's where the crusher would be located. If it
Is that
wasn't,
where the roundabout is?
the turnaround,
Yeah,
it would be, if you go down to the turnaround and then you start coming back up,
okay.
it would be up the hill from the roundabout, but
Okay.
not down. It's not that far down because it has to be set back. There's a noise level from the property line, so that's the reason. It can't be close to the property line. It has to be back up. But there's one location on the other side of the hill that it would operate in one of the proposed support areas. The other spot would be it would either operate inside the footprint in the lowest point of the quarry itself, where, when the rock comes out, it crushed there. So that's the two places that are proposed. And the reason being is sound, obviously if we put it close to a road, or especially like that lower, where the new access road is there, on the southern part of the pit, 100% there would be more noise. It was very intentional why we didn't allow the crusher to come in there, because that would be great.
Ideally, that would be
That
the
would be
thought.
great if we could put the crusher right there, you just dropped it off the hill, you put it right in. So I can tell you that the northern area is not the feasible option. None of this operationally is is the first choice. It was put there, and again, the reason for the location of the crusher is 100% about noise. So, and we did model that. So I understand the concern, but, and very valid.
I think at the hearing, I don't think you knew that was I don't think you had decided where you were gonna put the
We-
crusher, or at
we-
least I didn't understand
We
that.
did,
You
but there was a lot that happened at the, a
Yeah.
lot of discussion at the hearing, so.
So when there was crushing back during the flood years, that was up near the new entrance?
Yep, it was.
Yeah, because I remember the mountain of crushed stone that
Yeah.
was there for a long
Yeah.
time.
And that was at the new entrance?
That was at the new entrance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is not what is being proposed.
I didn't know whether people complained about noise at that
Never
point
heard a
or
word.
not.
Never had any complaints.
What would be the determining factor as to whether you locate the crusher down in the lowest part of the quarry versus on the hill near the old entrance or on that road where you mentioned?
What is the sound level? Or
No,
what do
like,
you-
well, you mentioned two spots, so you were talking about putting it kind of like somewhere where the old road goes,
Yeah.
or down in the lowest part of the
But
quarry
where the
area.
extraction is. Yeah,
Yeah.
the reason for the extraction is that it would be mitigated by the high walls.
Yeah,
So,
that makes a lot of sense.
and then the location on the northern side it's far away from, there's no residences on that north side. So it's away from the road, and that's all essentially a forest. So the tree canopy around it, and just the topography, it would be located on the other side of, it's kind of like the main ridge that runs, it would be on the other side of a ridge essentially. is where-
So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I was wondering is, so there's two choices, I guess, as to where to put it. How are you going to decide which place, or are you going to have the option to put it
Well,
in either?
There would be the option of either, well, how it's proposed now, there would be the option of either one.
Okay.
But right now, that northern area isn't proposed. However, or it's not, there's nothing there right now. It's just, the winding road. And as a part of this, the intent is to, when they finish build out the support areas, the rest of the grout storage on the southern side by the new road, the proposal is to move to the new areas over there in the north. So essentially, instead of dumping grout, on the south side, they would move it to the north side. And if they're already hauling it over there, in the future, probably makes more operational sense to have the crusher come in over there. Maybe right away, before they, get to that area, next 5 years or something, when they're still dumping in the current locations, it may make more sense to be closer inside the footprint itself. So
Okay, gotcha.
I think operationally, it's gonna, but I would imagine, and again, Randy would have to speak to operationally about where that is.
Yeah, we need a new haul truck, for sure.
You what?
Gonna need a new haul truck for sure, we're gonna have to haul it off quite a ways.
Yeah.
Going up from the turnaround up to the quarry, is it gonna be on the right-hand side or the left-hand side going up?
Going up, it would be on the left-hand side. So,
Be on the uphill side, be
on
on
the
the right hand
uphill
side.
side. Yeah.
If you get to the truck turnaround and like you're heading back out, it'd be.
No,
you know where the
I'm
gate
heading
is?
up to your shack.
Yeah, where the gate is,
Yes.
just past the gate to the left.
So you're gonna have to take that bank out so you can put your crusher in there?
It would, it would probably, there's gonna have to be some access to get there up top, and it would have to be built out like a pad, essentially. So it would look different than what it looks
Yeah.
like now. And, the intent is there's those support areas, the intent is to on the left hand, well, I guess if you're coming up from the turnaround, coming up the hill, the intent is to start, when they get to that area, on the downhill side, start filling that downhill side. But yeah, the crusher would be on the uphill side,
Okay.
if that makes sense. But the intent is not to cut that hill out, there would be, you have to get an access up there and then flatten it out. And they kind of have some, when you keep going, get to the quarry, they have some roads that
Oh,
kind of
okay.
go to the top already, so it's.
Okay.
And then be on the other side of the gate, so we don't, we're not putting up new gates or anything like that, no more new roads down there.
Yeah.
Cause I know.
Well,
like
the only
trying
reason
to
why I was
whack
asking is that after you go past the original entry
Mhm.
and the house that's on the right-hand side on the Cabot Road,
Yeah.
just up above you, that bank has started sliding, so I didn't know if that what you're gonna do for
No.
there is gonna affect that.
We're way on the other side, up by the
Okay.
truck turnaround,
Okay.
Yeah, we're way on the,
way on the other side.
way on the
now.
other side of the
Okay.
mountain, or the, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, that should be looked at.
So in order to create this northern support area, there's gonna have to be some clearing, right? Gonna
Yeah,
have to do
those,
some-
and those are noted on the plan. The intent is that those would be phased, you know.
Mhm.
So if you look at the plans that were submitted with Act 250 and the zoning board and everything, there's, you know, colors of different areas.
Mhm.
That whole area would happen in essentially phases, you know. You would take some of it, the downhill side, and the intent is to cut the trees in the area that you need, but it wouldn't be grubbed. So they wouldn't obviously take the stumps out, it would just dump, because that's a stability problem. You know,
Mm.
keep the roots, the whole ground intact, so that it's not,
Mm.
there's not
Mm.
erosion or anything like that.
Mm.
So.
Any other comments, questions?
I have a question. So I believe at the hearing you had said that anything you sell off the quarry will have that road maintenance fee, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. And so you guys are talking about adding how much in crushed?
20, so a maximum of 20,000 cubic yards per year is proposed of aggregate. So, and I think the fee is based on a
Cubic
feet,
foot.
cubic foot, yeah,
divided by
so,
20 times by 20.
because dimensional stone is in cubic feet, but, yeah, so it would be the same.
Feet of usable ground is what the.
Yeah.
And the
Substantial
usable
amount of-
is what is,
Of road
Truck
funding, I
costs.
mean, it'd be
You know, truck
like 40 grand, I believe.
That, you
No
said
problem.
40 grand?
I don't think we're gonna sell,
I've
no,
done the math, it's,
that's
yeah,
right.
it's-
It's, that's what the math comes, but, you know, we're probably not gonna sell at our first year out. I mean, we're gonna be, hopefully selling it to the town for a discounted rate, so maybe we can,
Which kind of brings me to the point that I wanted to bring up a little bit, is that we haven't heard from Polycor or anybody regarding any maybe offers or something like that. And I know that at the last meeting you said you weren't in a position to negotiate anything,
Right.
but that you could be a messenger, that those types of conversations would probably be welcomed. Yeah.
I mean.
we're open.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we are not the ultimate deciders here,
Understood,
but,
yeah.
however that process needs to go, or whatever,
We're working on
We
something.
kind of figured that this was gonna come up because we've
Yeah.
heard it many times.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We might as well just say it out there in the open.
We'll come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, you know, they're not all in favor of, I'm sure, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Mhm.
yeah, and I know that it's been discussed in the past, and there was, you know, they were saying, I think Bob had mentioned, well, can you give us something that says what the money's used for, or that it's going to the road? And I don't know if that's, because I'm,
We tried that. At one point, they asked us to prove that we needed that money, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't ask our guys to,
Right.
how many times they have to run up there every day and keep track of it all, and the extra salt and the extra gravel and all. It's just,
But we do have a policy about how the money is used that we get from the quarry.
okay. Okay, well, we have made different provisions on how to use the money.
Mhm.
But it all goes either into the truck fund or the road fund.
But it
Paving
is-
fund, yeah.
it does say that there's something that it's
Yeah,
going
it
to.
goes
the
to the
municipal,
The highway.
The roads or
Yeah.
something.
Are you gonna crush more than one grade of gravel? I mean, is gonna be like ditch stone one of your products? Or is it all gonna be
yeah, I mean, they will probably be different.
different
Well.
grades?
I mean, whatever's, you know, the most common,
Mhm.
we'll, you know, start with. And, you know, we don't know if this is even gonna sell. You know, we know it's gonna sell, but like how much, you know, we don't know. McCullough's crutches down here, and so.
They do, different grades also?
I'm not sure.
You don't know?
No.
They buy your granite, you buy your big
Yeah,
rocks
they-
and then
Yeah,
that's it,
They
huh?
do- They do make several different
Do they?
types and grades of gravel, yeah.
Okay. Alfie, you have any questions about, well, I was telling Colin about what happened this morning. A truck got stuck partway up the,
It's an ongoing issue.
does it happen that often? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah?
it's winter,
Yeah.
and, you know, the salt doesn't work when it's 15 below. And so the trucks wanna go, and we put sand on, plow with sand on it, but it's just not enough. So, like today, we put salt on it after the sun come up, and it cleared it right off, because the sun warms it up enough to where it activates the salt. Is McCullough gonna continue, buying grout?
No.
Then bring it down there and crush it?
Don't really know where that road is going yet.
Okay, cause that would affect your 20,000 yard number,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And where did the 20,000 yards come from? I mean, why is it just 20,000? Cause that's really not a lot of material.
It isn't a lot of material, for
If you're
sure.
planning on selling it
Yeah.
to
Well-
contractors in towns around and,
I think if we came in here and said we want to sell
Yeah.
200,000, I think that, I mean, there's a lot of pushback on 20,000, so I think we're,
but
Yeah.
my question, my reason I ask is are you gonna come back 2 years from now and say, now we wanna do 40,000 or 50,000?
They can do that.
well, and honestly,
Not planning.
and honestly, I mean, Swenson, their primary business is not,
No. We don't want to.
So, I mean, this is just a byproduct of the dimensional stone. I mean, what they do and they do well is they make dimensional stone. And now it just so happens that when you do that, there's a lot of
Right, no, I think it's a
left
great,
over
I
too,
think
but
it's a great idea.
that's why there's a lot of these questions that, you know, about who's gonna haul or what are the types of stone or stuff like that. It's not, this is gonna be something that's contracted out to somebody else that does that, so we don't know all those specifics of what type. I mean,
Yeah.
we're proposing a limit on it, obviously, but other than that, you know, because it's not gonna be done by, Swenson's not gonna be the actual operator that does that, so.
Right, it'll be McDonald or McCullough or
Yeah.
one of those crushers.
Thanks. Any other questions for us, or?
I don't think so. Anything?
If
You
you
know?
guys got concerns, I mean, we need to know them or we can't address them. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, there's a lot of talk about things that they post all over the place, and it's like we don't know about it. There's nothing we can do about it. So.
I can just tell you what I've heard, is
Okay.
that folks are concerned about the sound.
Yeah.
Folks are concerned about road dust.
That, you'd have to take that with Alfred.
Folks are concerned about enforcement.
Enforcement on.
Yeah. Well, so, and again, this is, I'm just
Yeah,
hearing
I-
things, so
yeah.
who knows,
Yeah.
but that often they'll hear, talk about blasting happening on weekends.
Never.
Just telling you what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It was on the, I know my wife was on the front porch for him, and it was
Yeah.
on the, there was a blast that happened 8 a.m. Wednesday morning, and somebody said it was probably the Woodbury quarry. I can guarantee you, it was not the Woodbury quarry.
Yeah.
What they heard, I don't know, but it was not the Woodbury quarry.
And aside from that, I mean, those are the most common.
And then
Yeah.
truck traffic,
And truck
trucks
traffic.
getting stuck, blocking the road.
Yeah, that's
And maybe that's a,
understandable. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
maybe that's the conversation is, you know, it keeps coming up, trucks parked down here, and maybe you
I
can.
mean, we postponed that, you know, that's not something that's in the bylaws or whatever for starting at 8 o'clock. We took that upon ourselves to give Alfred time enough to go up the road
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock in the morning. So because I know it's not a school bus route, it's the last one they do.
Right.
So our trucks used to go up there at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
6 a.m. in the summer, 7 a.m. in the winter. But now we tell them, no, come to 8 o'clock because
Oh.
we want to give the town crew enough time to do their route and hit that hill. You know, and I know sometimes trucks end up in ditches, or you throw a tire chain or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's not always done at 8 o'clock. I mean, that's,
Yeah, I'm wondering about chains. Is there any way we can get chains on those trucks, or?
they would tear that road all up. If you were
Well, I
running
mean-
that many trucks up that road with chains on, you would have a mess.
Well, it wouldn't be constant, it would just be the particular mornings, like
Mhm.
this morning when it's 15 below, the salt's not working.
And I don't believe it works going up the hill that well. They have tried chains on blacktop.
I deal with a lot of trucks.
Yeah, I know you.
My trucks have chains on them,
Yep.
and they'll go where I need to go.
Mhm.
So if those triaxle trucks had chains on them, they would climb that hill when the conditions are not the best. And there are gonna be times that they're just not gonna be the
Yep.
best. I mean, this morning was a perfect example, absolutely perfect example. It's 15 below. The stuff, you've got an inch of stuff
Mealy
built
stuff,
up on the road. The plow won't take it off because it's so cold, and the salt will not touch it.
Mhm.
So now you're looking at mealy, snow that those trucks can't,
Yep.
can't get traction on. And I've also heard that there's a couple of those trucks that the lockers won't work. So if there's a defect in that truck, now we've got two trucks sitting here that can't climb the hill, and it's making the town look bad because they can't make the hill. I've been there 3 or 4 times this winter pushing trucks up the hill,
I did it once, yeah.
which I don't have a problem with that. I'm here to help, but I mean, you gotta help yourself a little bit.
Well, there's been a lot of times.
And I think
road
those
hasn't
trucks
even
should
been
have
plowed.
chains on them. Those trucks should have chains on them. That hill is not the only place that you guys are gonna have problems. I just know it.
Yeah.
You know-
But we've been, hauling out of there for the last 30 years in the wintertime, and it's never been an issue.
Well, actually, you didn't start hauling, you didn't start opening in the winter until maybe,
Working
8
in
or
the
10
winter.
years ago, yeah.
Working in the winter, but we've always hauled out in the wintertime. We worked in the summer and hauled out in the winter. We used to stop the Robin's store every morning.
Yep.
We went up the hill, but there's been times I come off the hill and it hasn't been plowed at 10 o'clock in the morning. So,
Yeah, I can't be many times. But anyways.
but I never get a return on my text messages or my phone calls.
No, I'm in full conversation with Steve.
I
Dale,
know.
he calls me, texts me every morning
Yeah.
when he's got trucks coming.
I recently gave him your number because I was going nowhere.
Well, okay, well, I'm doing what we can.
Yeah.
And like I said, this has been a winter.
I've not been to the town
Unlike
and
most.
complained not once.
What's that?
I haven't been to the town and complained not once. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying.
Just say.
Okay, well, we're hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it.
So anyways, I think that we all understand what's going on, but those are the things that we're hearing. So
Yeah.
pass that along to you guys. Anything else?
I just have a question about the questionnaire. So I have the questionnaire that you guys sent over. What is the time frame that you're looking to have that completed by?
I mean, I think we have some time considering the zoning board is probably that time process, I'm not sure what it is, so.
Okay.
I don't have a specific time for them to meet it. And again, all those services, there's nothing that's changing except for, as far as services go. And again, we're not proposing any rate maintenance, but we are proposing the trucks, so. which is the change.
I did volunteer to check with these other, like the fire and the police, but not the police, but the rescue. And I haven't done that. So I will just see if they have anything to say.
So maybe we can put this on for the next meetings.
Hmm?
We could put this on for next meeting's agenda.
Sure.
Right. Robin.
My big concern is it's not just Swenson, it's the town too, is that sharp corner at the very top of that hill.
So there's not gonna be any, oh, sorry. You tell her.
Yeah, you're talking about right past the old entrance?
No, all the way up to the top of the hill before you get to your new entrance, that real sharp corner.
Yeah,
That right there is my big concern.
and that's past the old entrance, right?
Correct.
So that's primarily the reason that we propose that condition where everything we're proposing new,
Mhm.
nothing gets to that corner. You know, none of the gravel trucks, they would all go in the old entrance.
Right, but your regular granite trucks are gonna go all the way up to that new entrance.
In the summer.
Only in the summer. Right now,
Correct.
there is
But
no,
they're still hugging
yeah,
the inside of that corner, so if you have somebody coming from Cabot Way, you got that truck in their traveled portion of the road.
yeah, I will say that right now, there's no current restriction on the trucks that are using that old road. We will, as a part of this condition, propose that they do not use it, that no trucks will go in or out during the winter out of that, through that curve. So that is,
Yeah, but this is even in the summertime,
yeah,
when they're hauling up through there. So I mean, and I know that the town is gonna have to put signs up there so they know there's a corner coming.
Yeah, I think that's the town's responsibility to put trucks entering signs like you, I don't know why it has never been done, but.
But it's just that when they're going up, they sort of hug the opposite side.
Truck
That's
goes
not
out, trailer goes in. That's a good thing, you know, in the summertime, they do have a little bit more room to
Mm-hmm.
get over than they do in the wintertime. But if they don't know the road and
Right.
they're not hugging it over there.
So who was it, the truck this morning that was a gray truck that didn't have any name on it? The one that got stuck?
I don't think
It's a
he got
Vermont
stuck.
license.
I think he's sitting at Chatney's and he's waiting for,
No, he couldn't get up, he had to back down.
okay.
And he backed into Church Street over there.
Mhm.
And then when I came back from Hardwick a while later, he was over at Shatty's.
Okay,
So,
I'm not sure,
I don't know who that was.
it was Deo's truck for sure.
Was
I see
it?
that, I know
Okay.
that, but when I just come, I had to go to Barry this morning for a meeting,
Mhm.
and when I come down off the hill, I see the truck sitting there.
Mhm.
And there was another truck that had made it up into the quarry, so I didn't know if he was waiting
Mhm.
for him to say, I made it, and then he was gonna try, or,
Yeah.
but
I think that's a lot of times,
That's what
there's
they
a
do.
truck waiting, we're making sure that the other truck
Yeah.
ahead of them went.
They do seem to come in like two at a time. You know, they
Yep.
can't, whatever. Together.
Thank you.
If anybody has not looked at the Polycore website, it's very interesting. Very interesting, and it's highlights Woodbury Quarry as a special place.
This is
And
special.
if you haven't, and if you haven't used a mapping program to actually look down from the, you know, either the tax, not the tax mapping program, but the, there's several programs even. Anyways, it's quite amazing. It's really big, and there's a lot of grout.
lot of grill.
Yeah,
which is
which is probably not what you're gonna work on, but.
part of this, yeah,
Yeah.
what we're proposing, so.
Mm, years.
We'll say, we do understand the concerns, it's not like we're trying to, you know, just minimize it, or, you know, get away with something, or, you know, Corey's been there for
Mm.
100 years, so, you know, a lot of what we've done, we've definitely tried to think about these things. I do there's certain things that, you know, are tough sticking points when you talk about the you know, the road, when you get off the property and stuff like that. That's a tough thing, because it's not something, you know, we can propose to change or something, so,
Mm.
but we definitely understand the concerns and wanna get it through and allow it to operate and what it needs to do, and
Got a question on that corner, actually, I was just thinking of that. I know that it'd be very expensive to dig in and blast it on the ledge there, but what if we went out the other way and it's just a bunch of fill that we could just like send it out of the quarry right there and fill that area in and widen that corner out on the other side?
I mean, I think that's possible. I mean, you've got the old Quarry Road, or old Cabot Road that goes up through there. So you have to kind of stay away from that. And then you've got property owners there. But yeah, if we could get through the property owners would allow, then yeah, it would be a lot easier than cutting the inner corner off.
Mm.
we got plenty of material, we can supply the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm here, I'm supportive, I'm here to help.
Appreciate
I
it.
want the quarry
Yeah.
to prosper.
Mm.
So I'm here to help. I just also have a responsibility to the public.
Yep.
Safety.
Mm.
And, you know, that's why I argue about the trucks having tire chains. Because that puts everybody in a dangerous situation. When a truck can't go, it's backing people up.
Yep.
And then if somebody's coming down the hill, sliding out of control, whatnot, it's just better if everybody's moving.
Mhm.
So that's why I was suggesting chains. Those trucks could have chains, and they put them on at the bottom, and yeah, it's an extra half an hour, 15 minutes, whatever. But if that truck is still able to move, then you're not arguing with me, you're not telling me, well, I didn't maintain the road enough. And I'm not saying, well, you guys come too early, or whatever the issue.
Yeah,
I think chains is gonna solve a lot of problems, with those trucks going up in there on the days when the salt's not working.
yeah.
And there's a lot of days, particularly this year.
This year, yeah, this has been the
It's
worst
been
year. We
cold.
really, I didn't think in the past we haven't had that many issues. I mean, it's been,
Right, cause usually it's warm enough,
Yeah.
salt, you know, gets on there and gets taken care of it, but it's
Yeah.
so cold, salt won't work.
It says right on
Trucks
here,
like this.
trucks shall be equipped with snow tires or chains. But I guess they probably have snow tires, right?
What was that?
I was just looking at the overweight permit. It says the truck shall be equipped with snow tires or chains. And no, not before 8 AM.
Right, and some of it's not Deo's trucks. Deo usually has pretty decent
Mhm.
truck,
Yeah.
or tires. It's the over-the-road trucks, when they come in
Yeah.
from Canada to get a block, they're over-the-road truck tires, they are not for winter.
Yep,
And so, a lot of times, that's the truck that has problems. Not every time,
Mm-hmm.
because Dale has trouble too. But there are times that there's a Canada truck
Mhm.
that's got over-the-road tires. It's not suitable for this climate.
probably not a Canadian truck, 'cause I think it's mandated they have winters, but we had a few overload trucks and then occasionally that.
Yeah, well, I don't always know where they're coming from,
Yeah.
but, you know, I can tell.
Neither
they're
do I
not-
most of the time, but
They're
you
not a
know,
local truck.
yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. And actually, we had that issue one time where we had a company in the Carolinas that bought some stone from us. And when the snow hit the ground, they started picking them up in Barry instead of picking them up in Woodbury. 'Cause we knew they don't have the lockers, they don't have the
Yeah.
winter tires.
Right, right.
And we just sent them to Barry to pick it up, and they pay the extra trucking.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Good.
But there's an occasional truck that shows up that,
Yeah, so if we were to look at that corner, Len, I mean, is that something that's gonna hold up the permit, or, I mean, is that gonna be a condition?
Yeah.
I don't know.
you don't need to have it in the
No, I think it's
things. I mean, I think that, I'll give you my word.
really
I
a
mean,
town issue,
that
not really.
we'll take care of it. I mean, we'll
Yeah,
haul the fill.
Would you have to
We'll get the fill.
buy some property or buy a?
Well,
Well, I'm not gonna buy no property, cause.
No, I mean, but you know, you would
an
stay
easement.
within the current
Well, that's,
road
you know,
right
we
of
would
way.
have to look at that.
Right,
and
so you
see.
may have to look at an easement from the property owner or something. If we get out of the town right away, now we don't have the right to work there.
Yeah.
We would have to extend that by an
Mhm.
easement.
Yeah, that's something that I think the town would have to work on for sure. But, I mean, I'd just be more than willing to help out with the fill material.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know if that's ledge on the uphill side?
I don't know for sure. It
So
looks
I've
like
never
from
dug
this,
there.
like looking
Yeah.
at it, but
I mean, if it was ledge, now you're talking a jackhammer and it's gonna be expense to get that out of there. That would be the easiest, 'cause you could just straighten that corner up and,
yeah,
you know,
That
that
would be-
would widen the road.
yeah. Those hammers now on the excavators do quite a job too.
Oh, I know, yeah, yeah.
All right, sounds like there's a possible solution there.
Something to look at. I don't want to see that hold up the permit.
No.
That's so noise is your noise,
Traffic.
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 traffic,
Dust.
and the fee,
The
and the
noise-
dust is, the dump trucks are gonna be covered, so.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah, I don't think that any, dust from the crusher is gonna anyway get
No.
anywhere near off the
Yeah.
property. People are worried about dust flying through the air and half a mile down
I
the
heard.
road and,
I
I
read some
think
of
you heard
those.
them all at the
Things
last
that
meeting.
couldn't leave his house until Sunday. It's like, whoa, that's pretty dusty.
well, that guy, would be nice to do something for him.
There is one thing about the noise, there is, and it's in the noise study, and it's probably not clarified here, but there's we're not proposing to load the dump trucks at the same time that the crusher is running, just as another thing to minimize the noise.
Really? How do
Well,
you
one
do-
of the loudest pieces actually, it's, the crusher is loud by itself, but dropping the stone
Mhm.
into the metal
Oh,
is also very loud. So that's one thing, and I can highlight that for somebody, but it is that's part of the Act 250, which was already a proposed condition. So essentially, don't run the crusher the same time you're dumping gravel in the back of the truck. So,
How can you do that? You can't shut the crusher on and off, can you?
without
Can you?
limit.
Okay.
And again, it's the reason for that is there was already noise limits for
Mhm.
the site,
Yeah.
We're not proposing to increase that noise limit,
Mhm.
beyond the
It's a
property.
pretty low limit.
Yeah,
Actually, it's a lot lower than other locations.
trust me, we would, and again, it wasn't, Swenson's first choice or Polycore's when we said this is where the thing has to go. They would have loved to have had it right there, operationally, it's not the first choice.
So you mean that noise limit carried over from an Act 250?
It has the site now has a noise limit
Oh, okay.
at the property line,
Oh,
which is what
Which
we're,
is extremely low.
proposing to keep
yeah.
and not propose.
Mhm.
Which is, again, is the reason that we modeled it and
Mhm.
the reason that we located the crusher where we left it.
So basically, that being said, it cannot be any louder than it is now.
Correct.
Mhm.
But it's an average, right?
It is, yeah, the average.
So the average could be lower now than what the max
Well,
is.
we're way lower now than what
Right. So
is.
you have some room to grow in terms of noise.
A little bit. It's still an average of 55 though, so, at the property line. So,
Yeah, they have to do that average because somebody could just hit a hammer off a steel bench
Sure.
and you're way over the limit.
That's right.
You're-
well, and the same thing, like, just the trucks on that winding road. I mean, just a truck turning around to that turnaround, you're at the property line, you're already exceeding, like, when those trucks are driving up that, their engines are over that,
Over the limit.
so.
Mhm.
That's why that's why it is an average though.
And just to clarify, all of this stuff, all these operations that create noise, those never occur on the weekends, right? Is it only Monday through Friday ever?
We have work occasionally Saturdays and
Okay.
I don't know how long, it's been quite a few years since we've had to work a Saturday.
Uh-huh.
But just hauling.
What's that?
Just hauling, right?
No, we
No.
don't even haul, no. No.
I guess why I'm asking is, like, I'm wondering for people who do have major concerns about the noise
Sure.
being close to where they live, like, it might make them feel a whole lot better to say, well, it's not going to happen on the weekends. It's only going to happen during the workday. But it sounds like maybe that there's a possibility it might sometimes be on the weekends.
I wouldn't think so, but
Okay.
I'd hate to limit to the
Yeah.
certain thing, but yeah, I mean, they work 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. They
Uh-huh.
need to have their work-life balance.
And,
Yeah.
and we did put hours in there for the crusher, and I did not bring it for what we were proposing.
That definitely won't be.
But it was spelled out when they were, operating hours, max operating hours and stuff like that, so. But, yeah, I didn't bring it.
That's okay. I think I remember I want to say it was like 45 days out of the
It is
year.
a max of 45.
But it wasn't, or I don't remember seeing it like spelled out in terms of like, was it?
The Act 250 spells it out.
Oh, okay.
As far as operating hours, when they would operate, and I could get that. I can spell all that out for you, and if you want me to email you put that.
And but it is 45 working days, it's not 45 calendar days like 6 weeks or something, so it's gonna be,
And I can
5
reread,
days a week.
I have the Act 250
Yeah.
permit application, so you don't have to go to the trouble.
It's
I
right
can
in the project
go in there.
overview, there's a little
Okay.
table that says what it is.
Oh, okay, I must have missed that
But-
part.
It's of course not one of these pages.
Well, unless there's any objection, I think we're all set and we can move on to our next agenda item,
Yeah,
perhaps.
and thank you
Thank
guys
you.
all for coming.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Randy's always available, I'm always available, so if you have any questions, comments, anything. Got to know.
see you Thursday
Yeah.
night.
So,
Michael,
We'll
did
probably
we
see
check
you
with
on
you
the 12th.
about taping Thursday night?
HCTV is going to be doing it.
Oh, God. 'Cause I mean,
Well,
they're gonna.
I am very relieved that I'm not doing it, because, you know, we hardly ever use the equipment, and last time things
you
screwed
did a
up.
great job last time.
Well, not so great, but I'm glad to not be stressing about it, because I
Are they-
already
are
was
they
starting
gonna-
last week.
Put it on TV, or are they gonna just do it as a contract?
You'll have to ask them. I mean,
Okay.
that's,
Okay,
the
so who
zoning
invited
board
them?
can, you know, that's their decision.
Who invited them?
John and I did.
Oh, okay.
It's a public meeting, right?
Huh?
It's a public
Oh,
meeting.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They don't, I don't know.
And we don't,
You can come
we have the
and
equipment,
film it.
but we don't use it very much, and, you know, at the last meeting, it did a weird thing that I didn't know about, because I hadn't used it for a couple of years, and it was really hard to record that meeting.
60%.
So it's lower.
So they were doing a much better job.
They're about 80.
Well, I am gonna insist that we move on to the next agenda item.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Like when
No problem. Yeah.
a lot of years.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you. I guess
Good
I'll
night, you guys.
see everybody in a couple days.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.
Hi,
Randy.
have a safe trip home, at least it's not snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You wanna just get something started here?
sure. Robin, you wanna go?
Mine is short and sweet.
Great.
It's for research, it's been very quiet in the office. And so I have been, getting up to speed for town meeting.
Okay, that's it?
Oh, we have, gotten a good response for the WOOF
Oh,
contest.
good. That's
Lots
good.
of cute photos.
Yep.
So people are sending in
Yes.
their, oh, that's
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Good.
And that's basically what I,
Okay, that was easy.
Maybe you can do a calendar to fill it.
oh, there you go.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Peter?
In my personal phone.
It is a little chilly in here.
Warmer than it was last time.
Someone waved
Lily, do you wanna wait for Chris or do you wanna
Oh no, I
dive
can
in?
get going.
Okay.
So not this week, but next week I'm meeting with Passive to touch base on our insurance costs. Through the grapevine, it seems that other towns have also had questions about their increases this year. So I'm meeting with them on Wednesday to kind of go over why our insurance is a lot higher than it used to be. They had mentioned that we had had a lot of workers' comp claims. After reviewing with Robin, she couldn't remember as many as they seemed to insinuate, so just kind of
I'm sorry, what was that?
just couldn't remember as many as the LCT
Yeah.
insinuated that we may
Yeah.
have had. So
Huh.
I know that they were updating their systems, so I don't know if something crazy happened. But going over all that with them next week. So hopefully I'll get our insurance a little bit.
That'd be amazing.
So this meeting, I decided to postpone our January financial review just because we're going over that 6-month review and projections. I figured it'd probably be a little too much information all in one meeting.
I'm sorry, you think it'll,
A little too much information.
oh,
Yeah.
and also I told you that was not able to put it on the agenda because of my cold and my virus in my computer and other things going on. I just didn't have time to look up the citation and put it in. So thank you for understanding.
I also, sorry, excuse me. I'm bringing up the mutual aid agreement again with CVRPC. Just double checking. I have it here for you guys to sign if we have two people who have agreed to be the main contact person and the backup
I
person.
thought we did that already.
I think I might have dropped the ball on that, but I think we have John Gordon, and then somebody along the way had recommended Tim Neal be the other person, and I'm pretty sure he was okay with that.
Okay.
But I may need to verify that 100%.
Okay.
But those were the two people that seem to be the best.
Okay. Okay. If you want to verify with Tim, then we can sign it at our next one. I'm just
Okay.
thinking with spring coming up, and especially looking at our end of year projections, having access to more resources or potentially more funding from the state or from the federal government. If anything does happen in the spring or flooding or anything like that, it'd be great to have this set and ready beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does say packet is attached to summary.
I just got it. I got it in here.
All right.
So, do we want to sign it now and then let me know if we confirm? Okay.
Is that what we were expected to do, to sign it today?
If we have the names.
Yeah, we can wait till next time.
Okay.
Okay. Great. So now moving into the mid-year review. So, you guys have my packets? Great. Moving on to the second page. Just kind of want to go over these reports that you guys are looking at. This first report outlines our general fund, our highway fund, and our total. We're looking at what our last year's actuals were, our budgeted amounts, our projected amounts, our fiscal year to date, and our next year budgeted. This is going to be a report that I start including in our monthly reports. It kind of just shows the bottom line, you know, giving you guys that big comparative budget with all the different item lines is good when we want to look at specifics. Doesn't always necessarily show you guys the bottom line. And then if we want to go to page 3, I'll give you guys a second to. You guys are fairly familiar with this. This looks like our funds report, modified slightly to show us our year when we started, where our mid-year point was, and then our projected year end for all of our individual funds and for our bottom line. And you can see our bottom line total cash under that top portion, total, all the way under projected year end. And I'll go over this a little bit more in detail, but I just want to give an overview of the reports we're going to be talking about.
This is great, Erin, thank you.
All right, now going into the summary. On the next page, page 4. So, based on current revenue and expenditure trends, it's looking like the town's total expenses will slightly exceed our total revenues by the end of the fiscal year. Dun, 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 dun. We did feel like we did all kind of see this coming, resulting in a modest budget deficit across the combined general and highway funds. So if we want to look back at page 2, you'll see under the projected column, the general fund balance at the projected end of the year is a deficit of $50,000. Under that, you're looking at the highway fund. It looks like they're gonna end the year in a revenue at 40,000 or a surplus, apologies. And then below that, under total projected, about 10,000 deficit total combined. So these projections were developed using a review of the year-to-date financial activity and known fixed costs. So it's estimated year-end revenues and expenditures are based on spending and revenue patterns from the first half of the year, annualized where it needs to be, and then also included obligations that we know are going to be expected by year-end. So looking at our specific mid-year 6-month point, total cash on hand was at $1,093,577. The general fund is currently operating at a budget deficit, meaning our expenditures are outpacing our revenues. Our general fund operating expenses are currently being supported by that fund balance, right? So those leftover funds that we carry over year. The highway fund budget continues strongly as we expected it would, since it gets its lump sum of tax revenue each year. It's operating with a surplus and a healthy fund balance. Overall, though, our expenditures are trending slightly over budget while revenues remain steady, supported by incoming state aid, clerk fees, and delinquent tax collections. The primary financial risk for the remainder of the year is unbudgeted or under budgeted expenses. As we had talked about, unanticipated truck repairs, post-budget increases, and higher than expected insurance and technology costs that impact both our general and highway operating budgets. Looking at year end, am I moving too fast for you guys?
What page are you on now?
Oh, I'm still at page 4. I'm sorry about that, Diana. Just kind of going through the broken report. Under year-end outlook and fund balances. Ending FY26, cash on hand is projected. Like I said, these are estimated numbers, come from the numbers, but still nonetheless estimated. Is projected to be $383,403, so that's a fairly significant decrease. This reflects the anticipated return of the full amount of excess FEMA funds, included as a conservative worst-case estimate. The general fund budget is projected to remain in deficit through year.
Wait a second. This reflects the anticipated return of the full amount of excess FEMA funds.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the full amount of what we already spent, or the full amount of what is sitting in our account waiting to be called
What's
back?
sitting in our account plus that mitigation money that we spent. So the total 527,000?
518.
518,000.
Right.
And this is a worst case
And that includes
scenario.
105 or something?
Yes.
Okay, so.
So how, if I can just ask a question, how is that money being accounted for? Is that part of the, again, is it part of the general fund?
Nope.
Pardon me?
It's a part of its own fund,
All
so,
right, it's like a reserve fund
yeah.
that can't be utilized for anything other than paying back FEMA if they come knocking, or mitigation projects if they don't come knocking. So it's like a reserve fund.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, doesn't account against general fund or highway fund or anything like that?
No.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions before I keep going? Great. Where was I?
You're at that.
Yes.
Year end outlook and fund balance. Yep.
So, general fund budget is projected to remain in deficit through year end with a projected 48% decrease in our general fund balance. We want to look back at page 3. You see under allocated funds held in bank account, general. At year start, we're at about 103,000. At year end, we're looking at about 53,000. So it's imperative that we continue to watch delinquent tax revenue. This delinquent tax revenue is really going to be that defining factor of how much of a deficit we're going to see in our budget and where our fund balance is going to be moving forward. Dan, I'm back on page 4.
And Lily, I know I asked this question before,
Yes.
and it's probably a question for Brandy, but in terms of the collection of delinquent tax revenue,
Mhm.
how does that compare this year, current situation, to years past? I don't expect you to know that answer, but
In terms of how much went delinquent or how quickly we're collecting?
yeah, are we on track to collect? Are we seeing a greater tax delinquency than we normally do? I guess is really what my question is.
So this year, from last year's delinquent tax was 240 grand. This year's is 260 grand. So a little bit of an increase. Right now, we're projecting to, at the current rate of how quickly we're collecting delinquencies, we're looking at about 236,000 collected of that 260,000,
Oh, good.
if it keeps pace,
Yeah,
essentially.
thank you.
The highway fund is projected to end the year with a 46% increase in fund balance, which is fantastic as long as we don't buy any new equipment.
Or maybe breakdowns, or
Or,
bad mud season,
Yeah,
lots could change that.
or the garage falls down.
yeah, or more raccoons.
More raccoons.
More raccoons.
That's right.
Yeah. So this increase will hopefully place our highway fund balance at a more stable rate. It's also just important keep an eye on payroll expenses as we're transitioning the team. That's kind of the main thing, other than unanticipated truck, repairs or breakdowns that we weren't necessarily planning on or financially planning on, I'll say, moving into this fiscal year. Bottom line, town's not at risk of needing to borrow. However, the fund balance, particularly the general fund, is projected to fall below best practice levels. So this is just essentially limiting financial flexibility and increasing exposure to unanticipated costs. So big, small things will affect us more because these fund balances are a little bit lower than where they should be. Looking ahead, it's best practice to maintain approximately about 2 months of operating expenditures in both the general fund and the highway fund at year end, based on the current FY27 budget, which I think we believe looks like a more accurate operating budget for us. Will equate to roughly around 125,000 in both of our main funds. So that's kind of that's like our top level goal. That's like we're safe, we're good, we don't have to borrow money, we don't have to worry about being in deficit. Not saying that we always have to be at that, but that's just the recommended where we would want to be around. It serves 2 purposes. Kind of reiterating here, helps bridge cash flow needs before tax revenues are received, and it helps provide capacity to absorb unbudgeted or unexpected expenses during the fiscal year. Before I end, again, these are estimated projections. It will be very important that we go over this again at the end of the year when we actually see what we're going to do.
So we'll do this again at the end of the year, not quarterly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Billy, I have a question.
Of course.
So if we're anticipating, based on all this, to end the fiscal year in a $10,000 deficit, how do we float that? Because we don't start getting tax revenue until like November, right? So you're thinking we won't have to go out for a loan or dip into our DAN?
Yeah, no, I don't think we'll need to do that.
Okay.
for clarification here, there's our budget and then fund balance. So we'd be ending in a $10,000 budget deficit.
Okay.
So our fund balances are
We have a
still,
fund balance.
we still have a fund
Gotcha.
balance.
Okay.
It's just our budget is going to be over what we anticipated.
So we'll be
Okay,
eating into
I
that fund
understand.
balance.
Exactly. Exactly.
Question.
Thanks.
Any other questions before I move on to the next portion? So this next portion just kind of goes over, for transparency reasons, we don't, a lot of our time is spent in the general highway fund, but there are additional funds that are being used throughout the fiscal year that we don't really talk too much about. So a lot of what I'm gonna go over next is stuff that we already know. It's just, I think it's important for transparency reasons that we discuss where it's at. So other fund reviews, and if you guys want to look at page 3 while I read this and follow along. All right. Are we all there? Great. So looking at the HERF fund under highway, under allocated funds. The HERF fund experienced a significant decline, as we know, following the purchase of a new truck. The fund balance is expected to stabilize by the end of the fiscal year with Swenson payments and the scheduled year-end highway transfer. Essentially, we had discussed that we would move about $38,000 from the highway fund to the HERF fund at the end of the year, bring that HERF fund back to a surplus balance or a balance. This projection does not outline the proceeds from the sale of the old truck and trailer, which we sold this past week. Or well,
Oh, the trailer too? Oh,
just
good.
the truck,
Okay.
not the
Just the
trailer.
truck, okay, right.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Truck is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Trailer's still there.
So, moving down to the library fund, right underneath the HERF fund, is projected to end FY26 with a fund balance of $4,500. This is down from about $13,700 at the start of the year. This decrease is primarily due to wage increasements and an unbudgeted roof repair. Because the library appropriation is received after tax deadline, the fund is possibly going to be entering into a temporary deficit in FY27, which I'll review with Dave Barber by the end of the year as well.
I thought we just got a new roof for the library, didn't we, Michael?
Yeah, I can't remember how
They
many
had to
years ago,
fix,
but
they had to
it should be
repair
fine.
something? Interesting.
I believe
I
so.
think it
Am
was
I-
only
am I-
2 or 3, it was 3 or 4 years ago, right?
It wasn't very long
It
ago.
wasn't
Yeah.
very long ago, no,
No.
but I can't,
Anyways, yeah.
they all mushed together.
Am I incorrect with, was it a repair? Do you recall? Or DD paid out of pocket for it? And
We
we reimbursed it?
budgeted roof repair.
I don't
You
remember.
don't remember?
No.
Well, maybe I'm misremembering, but. The cemetery fund, remains well-funded. While reserves remain strong, it's important to note that in FY27, there's plans to do deferred maintenance in the cemeteries and do a new cemetery road project. So this will draw down that fund balance, because it is significantly higher than their average operating budget.
Well, we gave them money towards the road last year also, right? Plus in this, I guess that wasn't enough, and they need more.
For the Listers Education Fund, we had decided to use that $10,000 for tax mapping. We're looking at a projected year-end balance of $2,600. For the reappraisal fund, we're projected to end the year at $112,000, and this reflects that $14,360 that is going to be used in this fiscal year to cover grand list related operations such as listers, wages, and NIMRIC, things that are used to maintain. our list. This is where it gets interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Skip. This kind of alludes to the question that you had asked earlier about the FEMA funds. So after the payments for TH23 and TH24 and administrative costs, remaining funds were transferred to the FEMA mitigation fund, resulting in a deficit in the FEMA 2023 fund of negative $24,371. So this represents the Category Z costs. By year end, the town expects to receive about $77,000 in remaining Category Z and ERAF reimbursements for the 2023 disaster. This will bring the projected ending balance to $52,489. Right, so that's going to be that excess that we're talking about. FEMA mitigation fund is sitting at that $422,000 of the leftover excess obligated funds. Worst case scenario, that FEMA mitigation fund is going to have a deficit at the end of the year of that $105,000 if we have to return the entire amount. For our FEMA 2024 fund, we ended up getting additional Category Z and ERAF reimbursements related to the 2024 disaster, and so this fund is projected to have a year-end balance of about $10,975. And again, that's going to be that extra money that we could use.
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
Nice work, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super thorough.
How is it landing? Too many numbers? You want to shorten it up a little bit next time? I can, a little feedback would be.
I
Would
think
be
doing
great.
this,
Perfect.
yeah, doing this
Yeah.
once, twice a year or whatever, or 3 times a year, this is a perfect amount.
Yeah, it is a lot of numbers, but it's also it's a lot of important numbers.
Yeah.
I feel like they need to be here, and it's coming across pretty well.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And it's nice to have a snapshot.
Yeah, I think that'll be nice. Like I said, the itemized list is great, but it doesn't really show you what we're netting.
Excuse me. Any questions from you or questions for Lily?
All right. Great.
Thanks, Lily. Well done. All right. Moving on. Go to the road commission's report with Alfie and Michael.
You wanna talk about the Valley Lake first? See what's on the agenda, or-
I could do that. You want me to go through the different grant things that are going? Okay. So the Valley Lake Road culvert, Nate has sent out the RFPs, and we should hopefully be getting some bids in the next couple of weeks on that project. And then I met with Brian Boyd at CVRPC about the Emergency Watershed Protection Program. That's the Cabot Road, Buck Lake Brook project that kind of got on hold with some of the scrambling of federal money, etc. But things are back on track now. I think we did sign an extension letter for the project back in the fall. But Brian is working on the RFP for the engineering of that project. Originally, USDA was going to be doing the engineering, but most of their engineers were laid off, so they're going to be hiring that out.
And who's paying for that?
It's part of the grant. The engineering is paid for 100%. And Brian Boyd at CVRPC is basically, doing the groundwork to have all of that happen. That's something that I'm not doing. So, and that RFP should go out sometime soon, and I think will be a couple of months before the engineering, will be finished. So the timeline, I've talked to them about this quite a bit, they really won't be ready to put RFPs out for bid for the actual work until into the summer, which is not a good time to try to find somebody to do the work, so I'm still kind of concerned about that, but maybe we can get another extension. And we have the option of deciding whether or not to do the construction work once we know how much it's gonna cost, because this is something that I'm pretty sure that hasn't been budgeted for this fiscal year.
Next fiscal year.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what the bids are. And then, so that's pretty much it for that. I just wanted to let you know that there are things happening with that again. And then I did want to just talk to you about the road erosion inventory that I brought it up a couple of times, that I would like to be able to do the work on that. We already have received the grant for that.
We first received the grant, you mean money or
No,
approval?
it would be a Better Roads grant, and it is a Better Roads grant, and it's all reimbursement. So just like any of the other Better Roads or grants, and we do the work, we submit a report, and then we get reimbursed for it.
How much, is there an amount?
Yeah, it's $7,000 something. I can't remember. That's the amount. And I would like to get the iPad that I've asked about, so that I could do the work in the field. And I've been talking to John about that. John is thinking that we could get a year-old iPad for about $350, and then a nice case to hold it and protect it for about $25, $50. And the apps, I can just download them. They're available through the DEC. And then when spring comes, I'll start doing the inventory.
And you'll be paid as our road administrative person, or is this gonna be a different job?
That was my thought.
Do you want a fifth title?
No. No, I consider it town highway administrative assistant. So, and it will be pretty much a 2-year project. I don't anticipate finishing it by the end of this coming summer or fall. We have until I think it's September 2027, I think, to have it completed. So it'll probably be a 2-year project. So we really wouldn't get reimbursed for it until another couple of years down the road.
Do we need to do a contract with you or anything?
You can if you want. I mean, that's up to whatever the town feels.
You're already sort of on the payroll, so maybe it wouldn't be.
Right, it doesn't have to be, from my point of view, but if it's a liability issue for the town, maybe I would finish the work and, so.
Is he on our insurance?
What?
No, I'm not on
Is Michael on our insurance? 'Cause
No.
that would be something to think about. He's out working on the road.
On our liability?
Surveying our roads, and somebody leaves the road and hits him,
No.
he should be covered for that.
Workers' comp
Or
or,
the town should be covered for that,
yeah. Huh.
I mean,
Good
I
thought.
think, right?
he's listed as an employee, of the highway department. So I believe he would be, but that's a good point. I can
Yeah, I just
check.
would like to make sure that he's
Yeah.
covered in the event that something like that happened. Or he falls over a bank and hits his head, I mean, God forbid, Michael, I don't wanna, but if something like that happens.
Or a beaver grabs his leg.
Right, I was thinking that.
Attacked by a rabid beaver.
Yeah.
Do you want us to approve having John order you the iPad?
Yes,
so
I
you
would
can
like to
start on
approve
it?
that initial purchase.
Okay, I'd like to make that motion that we approve that. John would order whatever through,
We'll leave order, It's an
I
expense.
thought you do don't you do your thing with, yeah, places to, you tell her what to order.
All right. So there's a motion on the table to approve the purchase of an iPad for Michael to do the road inventory work. Is there any discussion?
And a case.
And a case.
A nice hand, you can hold it in your hand. It's really nice.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Right.
And then
Why don't we do
just one last thing regarding the Emergency Watershed Protection Program grant. There is money in that grant to pay for technical services. And it's a small amount, $3,377. And I don't want to have a discussion about it tonight, but I'm thinking that with CVRPC doing all of the work for this grant, that we want to discuss having that amount be awarded to them towards the project. They're using some other monies that they get to help towns with. Our being a member of the CVRPC does get us some funding from them, but this is a little bit above what they would usually. So I don't want to discuss it tonight, but it's a thought that I've had. We could think about it and something to decide in the future. It basically just covers construction costs, that technical assistance. So maybe when it gets to that and they're providing that technical assistance for the town, maybe that money could go to them. So, that's it for me.
So not much has happened, a lot of snow, a lot of weather. The new truck that broke down is back in service. Thus far I have seen no bills for that repair. I think it's covered under the warranty or the recall, one of the two. So we shouldn't expect any big charges on that. The old truck we sold, a fella dropped by, was asking about it, and he's a contractor from Plainfield, and he came by with a check and it's gone.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get, once it warms up a little bit, get that trailer unburied from the snow, so we can get some more eyes on that. There's been a few hits on it, people a little bit interested, but it's early for the season, so. But I want to get it opened up so people can see it. We have 2 new employees, part-time employees, working. We're waiting to get drug test results. Should be any day now. Usually it's 2 days. That happened on Thursday. And so we should be getting the results from that real soon, and they can put them to work, all in efforts to get me out of the truck. So
You keep talking about that.
I know, it's gonna happen. So the 2 of them are only part-time, so one of them can only do 24 hours and the other one we have to keep under 30. So we're gonna stagnate them between days and use them to keep them under the limits. I've been trying to pass some things over to Peter and kind of get him trained on the duties of road commissioner. And so far that's going pretty well.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you think that we could ask Peter maybe to start attending these meetings?
Yes.
Yeah, we can, I think we can arrange the agenda, especially during the winter season,
Yeah.
to an
Well, I
earlier.
told him that he definitely needs to be here for the bid opening
All right.
meeting, which I think is the next meeting, right?
Yes.
So he's aware of that, and I told him that that would be a very important one for him to be here for, and just break the ice for him. He needs to be here, I think, same as I have been right along, every meeting.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of stuff goes on, in 2 weeks period on the road crew, so I think he needs to start making that report. So I will be encouraging that. Yep.
And Nate will be here for the bid opening, right?
I expect so, yes. I haven't verified that with him, but I'm assuming he was here last time, I think, when we did that, so.
And Nate will be here also.
Oh, that's what I was
Yeah,
asking.
that was
Okay.
Okay.
That's really all I can think of happenings. Oh, this morning, we had a little excitement. Somehow raccoons are living up in the attic or between the roof and the ceiling.
In the garage?
In the garage.
We've been there before.
And they had a sudden fall to the concrete.
Oh,
Yes.
Did they survive?
Two big ones like that. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, they just ran away.
They ran away.
did the ceiling collapse, or like how did
The
it fall?
sheetrock.
It just collapsed. Is it? It
Yeah.
must be nasty. Like, have they
Well,
been?
that's the more important thing, is
Uh-huh.
that the roof is leaking and it's rotted out some of the, like the strapping, they got strapping on top of the rafters and then plywood. And in those certain spots, it's all rotted out. And the insulation is gone. It's gone. So because of that, because of the insulation being gone, we've got a foot of ice built up on the roof, on the drip edge side. And we're starting to get water dripping in, because the ice dam, its water's backing up. So,
You talking new roof or new garage?
I think, well, by the time we fix this one, we might honestly be looking at a new garage. I mean, that's something we gotta be thinking about.
Lily's doing it. She can do that.
You're making me sweat over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it, I mean, that's probably, you know, one of the more important buildings that we have.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something, it's a discussion to have, because putting a new roof with all of the new plywood under it, insulating it, that's a pretty good sized expense to do that. So do you weigh it out? Do you spend $50,000 to put a roof and insulation, or do you spend $300,000 to, I mean, I don't know, I haven't done any math, I haven't done any figuring on that to come up with costs. But it's a discussion that needs to happen. The building is very violated. And we noticed it today when the ceiling fell.
Did it land on anybody?
It did not land on anybody.
Did you see the raccoons fall down? Really?
Yeah.
So you're in
Well,
the
the guys did, I wasn't
Okay,
there.
but they did see that happen, wow.
But yeah, they were there, and then, of course, their immediate reaction was to take care of them. But
Dispatch them?
that
No.
didn't happen, so they got
We
away.
nurse them back to health.
Yes, right.
Back to mouth.
You need a new home?
Yes, so two of them are out in the cold, so I'm assuming that, you know,
Oh.
they'll either take care of themselves or not.
Or climb back up in?
Or they might climb back up in.
However they got in there in the first place, I'm sure.
So at any rate,
Stay away
I
from
think
that
we gotta
hole.
try to plug the hole where they're going in. I mean, they just climb up, they got claws, and they just climb right up the side of the wall, and they find their way in.
Do you know where the hole is?
I think it's towards the back of the building, yeah. So, it just happened this morning, so, we're gonna do some more investigating and try to block them out. But we're gonna patch the ceiling so that we're not losing all the heat out through where the sheetrock come. But there is no insulation up there. I mean, it's either just all packed down from the critters or the water. It's not, we're burning a lot of propane to keep the place warm.
Yeah.
And it's obvious with all that ice on the top of the
Yeah.
roof.
It's going right out.
So,
So you're gonna patch it like with plywood?
yeah,
Not sheetrock?
not sheetrock, yeah, because it just won't hold. So we can get by that, you know, temporary, but we need to start thinking about a more permanent fix. for that, and also efficiency. I mean, we've gotta be burning a ton of propane. I don't know if, you know, we could compare 3 years ago to now, but it's gotta be way up.
So you're not burning any oil there? I thought there was.
The oil is mostly for backup,
Oh,
like if the propane goes out, the oil will kick in.
oh,
But propane is cheaper than oil, so
Yeah,
that's sort
no,
of why
okay.
we do it that way. So, yeah, that was the excitement for this morning. In fact, I wasn't actually working this morning, I was going to be on vacation, which from now on I am. For 2 weeks. I was supposed to be on my way to Florida this morning.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
it got canceled for other reasons.
Oh.
And then, because that got canceled, I was able to come and, witness the aftermath of the, yeah.
so you're gonna be gone for 2 weeks, huh? More or
Yes,
less?
more or less, yeah. I'll be back on the 19th. I fly back on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So then that following week, I'll be back to work.
And the two part-timers there will be up to speed?
They will be up to speed, yes.
Yeah.
One of them's already up to speed. He's already,
Great.
he's learned the route that he's gonna do. And the other one, I'm just kinda waiting on the drug test for.
Yeah.
And then we can get him trained. So,
The 19th, so that's not 2 weeks, that's like 10 days. Okay,
okay.
we'll get by.
Well, actually, then I'm here for a week, and then I'm taking another week to somewhere even warmer climate. So,
Good for you.
but I'm gonna try to maintain my 30 hours until some given date, which has not been determined. But I wanna.
You don't have to work for 30 hours. I mean, if you're,
Well, no, if I stay on the benefits, I have to work
okay,
30 hours.
yeah,
That's
most days.
them are the rules.
Mm.
But I also wanna get these guys up to speed. Peter needs more help. I wanna get him comfortable and now that he's training 2 other guys, I wanna help with that process as well.
Are these two part-time guys only gonna be part-time for the winter, or are either of them interested in staying on?
Well, we don't know that.
Okay.
It's sort of up in the air. The one of them actually committed to 2 weeks, the 2 weeks that I'm gonna be gone.
Uh-huh.
But we might be able to twist his arm to stay a little longer. We don't know. But it's actually working out because he's already trained, and in the process, while we're training the second guy, he's filling in the void.
That's perfect.
So trying to manage that, so that he's only working for the snow when we're plowing.
Yep.
And then, and it's not working when it's not, just to keep him under his limits. So,
So we talked, go ahead.
Lizzie had a question about the spring. So,
Yes.
so
Yeah. So I got an email from somebody who was concerned that it had stopped working and that it hadn't been working for a long time. And I know that there's already a plan in place to get it working, but
What is that?
the spring.
Oh, the
So-
spring, Michael was gonna talk about that.
Well,
Yeah.
Alfie wasn't here at the time, so, but and we both were
Involved,
involved with
you
it.
know?
yeah, so we located the spring, cause none of us knew where it was.
How'd you get there?
Walked with snowshoes.
On the trail? You didn't go up
No,
there?
it's
No, we
not,
crossed
it's
the
down
brook, actually.
closer to the highway, it's not.
Oh, okay,
it's not
okay.
that.
Alright, good.
So we found it, we discovered that it's only a 2x2 wooden box,
Really?
and the earth around it is all eroded. So the water level is way down to almost nothing. And so we spent some time hand shoveling dirt back up to try to pick that level back up. But the water's still not running. We think that it's frozen because when it stopped running, water
Wow.
stayed in the pipe.
Yeah,
And then we ran out of time.
yeah.
so we haven't been back to revisit. We did spend a little time that afternoon trying to thaw it out. I brought a steamer from home and I tried to push hot steam down the pipe to thaw it out, but to no avail.
And did Dana help you with that?
Dana was very much
Yeah,
involved.
Dana was part of it.
He was the one that kind of
You know, been there
thought
before.
he knew where it was. But,
Yeah.
so we found it and we're thinking about, building a new box. Because the one, the existing is totally rotted out. So that's we're gonna have to re-coordinate that
And that's a spring project, I assume, or?
well, spring's just around the corner,
Yeah.
so, yeah,
That's
don't make
true.
it sound like it's too far
That's
away.
true, yeah. Just soon.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to let it warm up a little bit. I mean, it was 10 below that day that we were trudging out through there. It was less than comfortable.
I
So,
have more questions about it. So, what I was wondering mostly, because this email that I got brought this question to my mind. I don't know anything about it. I know people use it, but like, who owns the spring? Who is actually responsible for the spring? Those are the questions.
Very good questions.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody really knows.
Is it like?
I think V-Trans is still taking responsibility for it, even though they don't do anything with it. I don't think there's been talk in the past about them handing it over to the town, but that hasn't really happened.
Well, like, whose property is it on? Is it on
Well,
the
that's-
road's property, or is it on a private
It
person's?
would be out of the right of way.
So it's a private landowner who owns the actual spring box
I'm gonna say
location.
yes. I
Okay.
don't know who that landowner is.
Yeah.
But that's maybe before we go too far with this, maybe we
Yeah.
wanna answer some of these questions and make sure the town is in the right by.
Dana might know who, the history of the spring and, because he mentioned that he used to work on it when he worked for V-Trans.
V-Trans.
That's how he's knowledgeable about how to deal with it when it stops running,
Uh-huh.
which,
Well,
Yeah.
how would that work? So it would be, you could pull up the land record or the deed for the parcel that it's on, and that deed should show if there's any easement, right? If there's anybody else who has rights
It
to
should,
that spring.
yeah.
I'm only wondering, like, well, right, as far as doing the work, yeah, we probably should know, but I'm also wondering because the email I got was, it was not the nicest email, and it was kind of accusatory, that the town had allowed this spring to stop working, and
Really?
so
Yeah.
I'm looking to verify, like, is it even the town's
Mother
responsibility?
Nature is the one who created the springs to stop working.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are trying to get it to working again.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps this person.
I think
but
it will.
That's what our intention is to get it.
It's
Yeah.
not the town's responsibility.
Right, and I
And
didn't
even-
think that really,
even-
but
I
I
think-
wanted to verify.
Just for clarification, I think even Alfie, Michael, and Dana are not, it's not a town sanctioned
Okay, this is like a
task
volunteer
force, so
effort.
you guys are,
We're
took
just
this
trying
on.
to take care of the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
you know,
So,
Okay.
they're doing it out of the goodness of their.
So just to clarify,
For sure.
like, we're not
Yeah.
on the hook for it.
We're not, the town's not responsible
Yeah.
for this.
we did not tell
Okay.
you guys to go do this.
Well, they volunteered to do it, and we said, yeah, please.
Yeah, but I mean, they
People
could
need that.
Well,
yeah, we could have said no, and they could have still done it. And
That's
it's-
true,
Like, it's,
that's true.
I'm just,
Yeah.
for clarity,
Right.
you guys are doing this out of the goodness of your heart, and that's awesome. Thank you.
Mhm, yeah, thank you.
Making me thirsty.
Well, it is very good water.
Good water,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's, summertime, it generally runs a full stream.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it didn't. And now after seeing what I saw,
Right.
I know why it didn't run.
Yeah.
Only a trickle last season, last year, because it was, the earth eroded away, so the water level in the spring was very low.
Yeah, it needs to be totally revealed. The box is rotten and falling apart, so it doesn't hold water, for one. And the bank was,
Yeah.
water was running right up out of the ground, basically, so.
Is this person that emailed not wanting it running?
They want it running,
They do
and
want it
they're
running.
they're not happy that it isn't running,
Oh,
and that it
gee.
hasn't
Oh, I
been
see.
running.
Okay, well,
So-
I think it's-
welcome to the club.
Yeah,
Right.
really.
I just
Yeah.
wanted the
We're all,
clarity.
I mean, really, we're all Well, I mean, that's why I'm going to work on it, cause I drink the water. My water at home is not good, so I truck water from there.
Uh-huh.
And so, no, we're all in the effort of trying to make it run.
That was what I thought, but I wanted to verify that I was right before responding, just to
And
be
there
sure.
are a lot of people that depend on that for water, that's their source
Yeah.
of water. And right now, they don't.
And if any volunteer crew decides to help rebuild it, I don't think we have to worry about, liability or anything, just doing things that
Yeah, well, I think
need to be done.
we're gonna do it sanitarily. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
you
could
know,
look,
when we're done, we're gonna put chlorine in it, and so it flushes the pipe, and it's, it's gonna be, I used to, in my past life, I used to deal with public drinking water, so,
Oh.
I know the risks for it.
Mhm.
But I think it's a very valuable thing for the community.
I totally
Not just,
agree.
not just Woodbury community.
People
Yeah.
come from
No,
miles
all
away.
all over is stop there. to get
And there's cell phone service there too, so you can
Yeah.
get water and
Really?
check your email. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I pull over there all the time.
Could be the community center.
Yep.
it was a great place to deal drugs. too. Yeah, that was a hot spot.
I feel like that's calmed down a little bit, maybe, haven't,
I haven't
Seen
seen
it
that
as
for a
much.
while. I used to
Well,
have
they
to
can't
get
get the
water
water there now, so
people
they're
there.
not-
No,
must be, yeah.
it's been.
And they don't have a cover-up of why they're
Yeah,
really
right,
there.
right.
See Michael peeking out of his
Yeah.
And that activity stopped over a year ago, thankfully. But-
Oh, that's good.
Well, thank you guys for doing that.
And I can look at the town tax maps to see, because I know where it is now, and so I would know the parcel that it was located on.
Okay.
And maybe Dana does know the history of who actually put that in.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like we shouldn't just go fixing it without permission, from the owner,
Well, I don't think it was the owner that put it in, but.
or the
I
landowner.
mean, it was, you see old pictures of Hardwick where that tub was right in the middle of
Yeah,
the road down there by the laundromat. What's now the laundromat.
Yeah.
And when that was discontinued, they put it up there, and somebody must have made the connection to.
yeah, so
Figure out the whole
Hardwick
time.
was probably involved in that too, so yeah, I don't know the history for it.
Yeah, I think anytime you're dealing with water, particularly water that public drinks,
Uh-huh,
there's a liability involved.
great.
So I think that's why the state doesn't wanna fix it, Hardwick doesn't wanna fix it, nobody wants to take responsibility for fixing it.
Well, we won't tell them you fixed it.
So, right, we're just doing it, as citizens,
Uh-huh,
volunteering to fix it.
yep, makes sense.
All right.
I think that's it on the roads, unless there are questions.
No questions.
Great.
None tonight.
I was looking at you.
Thanks, Alfie. Thank you, Michael. All right, let's move on to the recovery officer's report. Skip.
So on a much drier subject, I was able to chat with Rebecca Ellis from Peter Welch's, Senator Peter Welch's office last week. Chris put me in contact with her, and we had a constructive conversation regarding our dealings with FEMA and what they're trying to do. So we spent about a half hour on the phone, and subsequently I sent her some of the documentation that's been circulating around, one of which is the FEMA scope change failure document, the utilization of excess obligated funds, and mitigation projects and the use of excess obligated funds. These are the three documents that we created over time since December of 2025. So with that, this was on Thursday. Friday morning, Rebecca called me back and said that she had reached out to Kim Konarecki's boss, and apparently that lit a fire under Kim Konarecki, because on Friday I responded to 6 emails from Kim Konarecki. And some of the documentation that I sent to her, I had sent to her earlier, in what we're going through. So this is just a rehash. So apparently she looked at them a little more closely And one of the documents, which I believe is, really buttresses our case, is a document that was sent out in December of 2024, which had the new scope of work that our engineer created, new scope of work, hydraulics and hydrology study, a photo of the site, lat long of the site, and precisely what we were going to do. We didn't have the cost associated with it yet because the bids didn't come in till like February of 2025. But they had a formal scope of work change in December of 2024. Before that, we had sent out a scope of work change in August of 2024, and again in October of 2024, and then again in December of 2020. So I resent all those emails, and with that, she wrote back a letter, one of her emails from last Friday, which was, pretty good. She started out with, "Do know that I am an advocate for the town of Woodbury." So, and
That's so nice.
it wasn't from anything I did. So I'm just the same guy, but now, I do know I'm an advocate here for the town. And she went on to say, "I agree that this was submitted to FEMA, and that this is the change of the scope of work." So finally, we got the state, Vermont Emergency Management, to say, "Yeah, you changed the scope of work in December." And she goes on to say, "They," meaning FEMA, "did not alter the project then and should have." So now we have buy-in by Vermont Emergency Management. The project would have been lowered than leaving the town with no overage funds. So in essence, we wouldn't be going through this, what we're going through now. And then she goes on to say the obvious, now the project funds do not match the funds that were allocated, and that's why we're having a meeting tomorrow. So the meeting tomorrow is to discuss, it's going to be an open-ended meeting. We were just going to meet with FEMA, and I said, no, we have to have an agenda, because I just don't want a free-flowing meeting and not come to what we want them to come to. So we're going to discuss the two projects. We're going to discuss funding return requirements and options for the funding return. So if you can recall, we sent Vermont Emergency Management a letter with our proposal that we retain the $105,000 that we used for the mitigation projects, and we'll gladly send back the $422,000 and change that are left over.
Although we'd gladly keep it too. If they would.
Well, understand that, that would be Christmas in February, but I don't believe that's gonna happen. So with that, we're meeting, Chris is gonna chime in by phone, it's a Microsoft Teams meeting. So, any documentation that FEMA requires or VEM requires, I'll be able to send to them, or at least share my screen. And I'm hoping tomorrow we have a positive meeting, and that they do agree that they made a mistake. So we'll see. It would be.
I wonder why, in several cases, it was stressed that the project was chosen in accordance with the H&H study, instead of saying that the project was chosen because that's what our engineers designed, and the H&H went along with it. But anyway.
Well, there was, which came first, the H&H or whatever. But the H&H had one of the three proposals in the hydraulics and hydrology study was a culvert similar to what was installed.
There were options.
Yeah.
H&H.
H&H always gives options.
Yeah, it's all the same ones. So.
And those options were given to FEMA and the Consolidated Resource Center back in August of 2024. So they knew that in 2024. So, I'm hoping, we'll see what happens.
Starting to look way more positive.
Doesn't it? I was blown away by this email.
It's okay. I'm wondering for tomorrow's meeting, Would it, so she has stressed multiple times that it cannot be recorded. I don't know if you guys saw the most recent
Oh.
email. It was like almost bold letters,
It was.
which makes me feel like it should be recorded. But if we aren't able to record it, would it make sense for us to have somebody on our end taking minutes so that we can?
I'll take the minutes.
Will you? Okay, that'd be, thank you. That's all.
I was sorry that I was not able to get a straight answer out of the Secretary of State.
Yeah, I saw that email. That
Whether
was-
the FEMA can overrule the open meeting law. She wouldn't say. She said, oh, well,
Well, I saw that.
yeah.
They indicated that they're not an attorney, but they wrote the law.
Right. I know. Don't give legal advice.
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
jeez.
They're the authors of the open meeting law and the keepers of it.
Really?
You would expect that they would say to you, it has to be recorded.
But you are basically discussing a contract, which is an exemption to the,
Well, we're not all going to be there, so it's just Chris representing the select board.
Yeah.
So
We don't need
We
to
don't.
record it.
yeah,
It's not a public meeting.
oh,
but it would be nice to record it because they really,
well, I
really
thought
don't
they
want
were
us
asking to not record it.
They
They
are.
are.
They
Yeah.
are.
Which
They're
makes me want to
insisting.
record it because that's just
They're
sketchy.
insisting that we not. That's why we're only doing not doing a full board meeting, which is sending one to the slaughter.
I'll be alright.
You've been through worse, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that in essence is where we stand with this. I'm hoping to have, again, a positive meeting tomorrow and be able to send out an email subsequently that says, you know, we're all set.
I
We'll
look
see.
forward to that.
I do too.
Yeah, this would be
I
good.
received 14 emails from my friend Kim last week.
Oh.
Maybe you guys will be pen pals after this.
I don't think. And it's
I will-
funny,
I will say Rebecca Ellis from Senator Welch's office was
She was
very
wonderful.
helpful. Yeah.
yeah, she called after she had
Quick
talked, I
call.
forget the gentleman's name, who was Kim's boss. She called right after, and she indicated that you'll be getting a call
Yeah.
from Kim. So,
That's what it takes sometimes.
yeah, and, you know, to get an email from her that's as positive as this, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes her emails can be
They weren't so
confrontational.
positive.
No, we didn't even have to tell Rebecca about the whole, threatening to take all the money back because we didn't do the $1 million DeWolf project. And that was a whole mess.
Well, interesting thing is that even though we sent the scope of work, changes to the scopes of work, they still require a letter asking to change the scope of work. And none of the PDMG's program delivery managers ever indicated that the town needs a formal letter requesting a change to the scope of work. If the PDMG had said that to me, we would have had a formal letter in like a half hour.
I mean, they did the scope of work based on that one-page list of,
The cocktail
Right.
napkin, yeah.
yeah. I mean, we never intended to do that, but they
course
did it. We just needed some numbers. So anyways, good luck.
Yeah.
Then they understand that the projects that were installed, the culverts that were installed, are much better than what DeWolf had proposed
Right.
at a much higher cost. DeWolf's cost was over $1 million,
Mhm.
and these came in at about $330,000.
Just wonder, well, I don't know how we ended up with that DeWolf estimate or whether they even went to the sites, but whatever.
Well, we had to have an estimate,
Yeah,
for FEMA.
yeah.
Yeah,
I remember we asked them for some help, like on the rail trail and stuff, and
and the only reason why we had to use that DeWolf estimate is the timeline for the project to be obligated was running out. It was December of, 23, January of 2025, January 14th. That was when all the projects had to be done. If you wanted to request an extension to any project, the funds had to be obligated.
oh.
So we were scrambling to get some number
Mhm.
so we could request an extension till actually October of 2025. So that's how the $815,000 got to us, because we required an extension.
Hmm.
Absent that, we would have been fine.
Phew.
So anyhow, I'll report send out a report tomorrow to, and,
Thanks, Skip.
let's hope.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris, too, and for reaching out to Senator.
That's pretty easy. If there's nothing else, we're gonna move on to our next agenda item, which is, well, actually, we'll flip this because, really the next thing is an executive session. But before that, are there any other updates or other business? Because I assume nobody's gonna want to stick around at the end of the executive session. But any other updates, other business? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain an executive.
Do we want to do my executive session this afternoon as well?
That's
Okay.
what this is.
Okay, that's the combined, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So is there a motion to enter executive session and invite Lily and Alan?
I'll make a motion.
All right, there's a motion to enter executive session. Inviting John Reed and Lily Barrett, treasurer. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right.